If you've played our first version of Boulevard of Broken Dreams, you may notice if you listen to the original, there's a few things that have been left out, and that was just to make it a little bit easier. So if you're after a challenge, here's a few extra things that you can try adding in. First of all, before the first chorus kicks in, there's a little fill. So this is the bar before the first chorus, and it goes like this: bass, bass, snare, crash, crash, and then we've got a 4E-ender, 4/16 notes, and we say that sounds like chicken burger. Bass, bass, snare, crash, crash, chicken burger. Now you'll notice above the first snare drum, there's a little O on the hi-hat, and that means to play an open hi-hat. And what we're after is kind of a loose, rattly sound. So it's a way of getting a nice long sound. The next thing that's fairly easy to add in is that you'll notice we've played in the choruses, we've played on the ride cymbal, because most of us, if we've got a drum kit at home, we've only got one crash cymbal. Now on the original, he actually rides on his crash cymbal during all of the choruses and the guitar solo. Now that just simply makes it louder. It's a different sound quality, often louder. So if we're playing in class or in school, we may not want to be as loud as riding on a crash cymbal. Which is why we've practiced riding on our ride cymbal. Now we can do a couple of things. We can change our ride cymbal sound to a more crashy sound by catching the edge of the cymbal with the shoulder. So instead of this, and that gives us a much fuller sound. Now you notice I play fairly lightly because I don't want it to dominate my whole sound. I've still got to try to keep my drum sounds nice and balanced. We could ride on our crash cymbal. Again, we've got to make sure it doesn't overtake the whole sound. Or if I've got a second cymbal, this one's a little bit bigger and it's more designed to create a nice washy sound. That also gives me the opportunity to still add some little accents using my other cymbal, my other crash cymbal, with either my right hand or you saw I just used a little left hand one. The third little thing that you can also add is at the end of the first chorus, you'll notice we've just played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rest, but on the original there's a little fill that fills in that rest, and that fill goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 4E-and. Or we may count 1 and 2 and 3, a 4E-and. A 4E-and. Double snare, starting with my left hand. If I go left, right, it keeps my hands in a nice open position. The other thing that you may notice is that if you look at a transcription, sometimes you'll see there's a little stroke through the first snare drum. And that little stroke means to play a little double stroke. And we can achieve that by allowing our stick to rebound from the fulcrum. So now, as well as a 4E-and, I'm going to play a 4E-and with a little double stroke to start with. Single stroke, double stroke. So on the original it's snare, bass, snare, 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 a 4E-and. And then I'm back into my beat for my first little pre-verse section. So there's a few things that you can try to add if you're after an extra challenge for the song.